Thanks for listening to the Kojima Frequency. This week on the show, we're joined by VTuber Mint Fantome. If you're enjoying the show and want to help support it, make sure to check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/KojimaFreak.
Hello.
Hey, Mint, what's up?
What's up?
Okay, Mint, you're not on your fucking safe podcast anymore. You can't talk shit about me.
That's not going to stop me.
You
I don't know what
absolutely can. Please do. You should do it more. I'll join you.
Cool. Okay. Me and Nitroid, we're going to double team this.
I want to say for the record, like, you guys talk shit about me for like 10 minutes straight. And then Matara's like, haha, go. You're like, oh, I hope he doesn't watch this. And then Matara's like, everyone go tell him. Literally no one told me.
We'll make fun of it. We don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. Were your feelings hurt? Are you okay? You need a little.
Yeah, I think I'll survive. I think I'll survive.
Hey, I'm Fingers.
Yo, it's ApacheSmash.
Hey everyone, this is DaysAhead.
And I'm Nitroid. You're listening to the Kojima Frequency. I'm going to be hacking up a lung here this whole time, so.
Me too. Oh no, are you also sick?
No, I'm just old.
Oh, stop.
Oh, Nitroid.
Yeah, I'm kind of nasally. I'm sorry, guys, because I'm sick a little bit.
Is everybody doing okay? Is everybody, like, after MGSCON, is everybody okay? Like, are we all good?
Yeah.
Define okay.
Define okay.
Yeah.
Fox die.
For a little bit.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people came back with Fox Die, to be honest, after that. But
Do we still have to censor it?
I'm just saying the word now, so I don't have to do extra work later. I'm ahead of myself. Here's the thing, guys. It's been a while since we've recorded, so there's a shit ton to talk about. But I think if we can rewind back, I mean, we got the Delta news, we got the Silent Hill news, all this stuff to talk about. But MGSCon 2 just happened, like, that's crazy. It's been over a month now.
Yeah.
Man, what a time. Like MGSCon 1 was like, all right, yeah, hell yeah. And then MGSCon 2 was like, what if we just elevated that and invited David Hayter too? And we got to meet Mint. That was a really good time.
Yippee. I'm just randomly here.
Yeah, we had that amazing dinner and also like the after party as well. I still get messages about the after party. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
I can't believe how good that was. That's like going to be a core memory for me forever. Because if you guys didn't see, we were literally on the roof of the Hilton singing Snake Eater with Cynthia there. There was like 30 of us
crazy.
out on the balcony, like 1 a.m. It was beautiful.
Those types of things don't happen without like the just supreme planning of Days and Apache. So they go like, yo, what if we throw a party on like the balcony and we invited like, you know, it's just like, that's so cool that ended up happening. There was all these just fucking magical moments again at MGSCon. It was just like, man, what other place could this happen? You know, like where we're sitting here singing on a hotel balcony, you know, with Cynthia and in Long Beach, just sitting here on this beautiful view. It's like, this is wild. And we have video of it.
I love the supreme planning of Days, and also Apache was there. Like it was all Days. It wasn't me.
You brought the energy, to be fair, and you taught me how to DJ, which created that pre-made, which led me to creating that unfortunately pre-made mix since I was so busy. But yeah, the convention was kind enough to give us hotel blocks for the weekend. So I thought to myself, well, Amanda, the amazing lady who runs the show, I was like, yo, if you could just give me my stipend for my hotel room, I could make this into something a lot of fun. And she was there and she had a good time. So I paid it forward. And it was such an awesome opportunity to meet you, Mint. I don't know that much in the VTube space, but like hanging out was dope.
Yeah.
It was nice to have that dinner, which I want to do another kudos to Nitroid for pulling that together.
That was delicious.
Yeah, and footing the bill, Jesus. Yeah, really good steak.
I still have to pay you, man. I still have that photo of the receipt on my phone. I was like, how?
That whole that everything about it was a fever dream. I have no idea what happened for most of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the night before the con. I mean, that's, it's like, yeah, there's that whole day zero, and just there will eventually be like footage of the convention as a whole out there. But if you were there, it was just like it was a blur of event that was just a really good time.
Well, it probably didn't help that I was intoxicated for most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that was me at dinner when you were like, my back hurts. I'm like, drink this.
Well, you were drinking more than me, and I just couldn't let you beat me. Like you're faster in Metal Gear. Like at least I can drink better.
I'm gonna speedrun alcohol any percent.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but
That might not have been a good decision.
But yeah, I know we've got like 100 million things because we took a little bit of a break after MGSCon. Does everyone want to say their favorite moment at MGSCon too? And then we'll go into the news. Mint, you're the guest. You can go first. Favorite MGSCon 2 memory?
Favorite MGSCon 2 memory? I really loved the Mega 64 panel. I don't know if you guys went. But
oh hell yeah!
Yeah, they showed some like footage. I've been a fan of Mega 64 for like a really long time, and so they showed some footage of like the. I mean, I'm saying all this besides like putting, singing Snake Eater with Cynthia, like because I'm sure we can all kind of agree like that was an insane moment. But they showed like some exclusive footage that they had never shared before of like Kojima kind of like just being goofy and like some stories and everything. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so like, cause I've just been a fan of them for so long. I was like, this is so neat. So
yeah,
that one I really appreciated. Yeah.
Shout out to Garrett for coming to the party and chilling too.
It was so cool to have the community all just in the same space together, just on a balcony somewhere. That was really rad.
Of course, he was going to come to the party. He's my close personal friend.
Yeah, our close personal friend Garrett Hunter. I mean, he's our guy.
Truly capping off Metal Gear Summer.
Yeah.
By hanging out with Garrett Hunter at MGSCon.
For real.
Truly the cherry on top of that, right?
On a roof top of a random hotel.
I think mine is definitely, as a DJ and just musician and stuff, like opening for and backing Cynthia Harrell, and letting her take the mic. I mean, something that we worked out the rights for and the performance rights for like a night before to pull off and for it to be a full surprise for everybody. I think that was the coolest moment for me. Like I look at footage of that and you can literally see me like shake off the nerves after we pulled that off. And it was like, fuck yeah, we did it. Like, and everybody lost it.
Give it up for our DJ Fingers right here. All right, guys, we're about to start the DJ section. Give it up for Jason Charlesville and Tyson here real quick. One more time. I started making remixes in my bedroom of the Metal Gear stuff like over 10 years ago, and now I'm DJing this main event with so many fucking awesome people. Just thank y'all for showing up. Thank you for being here for the set. But we have a surprise for y'all that we didn't tell y'all about. We still have one more. It's not over yet. So how are we gonna do MGSCon and invite Cynthia? And she not say anything? I mean, we didn't have it in the schedule, but we're gonna do this. Well, why not? Let's do it. Give it up, Cynthia Harrell, everyone.
That was probably like the biggest moment musically for me in my life, to just introduce and back her as a DJ, and then to just, do a DJ set. Like that's, just icing on the cake after it. So, and then to see her dancing in the middle of it, it's just, yeah, there's a ton of moments of it. I mean, David Hayter saying bacon in a blanket, like when he sees me stealing bacon out of the hotel restaurant to go give to the sound tech crew because they hadn't eaten breakfast yet. And he's, it's like, that's my first interaction with him ever. And it's like, I will never forget bacon in a blanket. It's like, I don't know, man. Like cons are that weird space where stories like that happen in no other space. There's bananas everywhere. There's so much to talk about. It was a good time. I had a fucking blast.
You were supposed to get one, but you had about 20, so.
That's the thing, man. It's like, I'm sorry if I saw anybody and I was a blur there. I meant to say hi and grab a beer with you, but I couldn't. It was just, we were everywhere.
No, you shouldn't have had such a good time. You had too much of a good time.
I know. Yep, exactly.
Days, what was your favorite moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat and do 2 moments.
There you go.
I'm gonna do the party. Just because I felt like that was because I busted my ass and spent money on it, but also because it was almost like a greatest hits of all the fun people that I got to see and meet. And thank you again, folks, for coming and hanging out and drinking with us and whatnot. My second favorite moment was when David Hayter signed one of my favorite quotes from Guyver 2 on my Guyver 2 Laserdisc. And I have that hanging up in my room now. Thank you again, David Hayter, for coming. For those who don't know, it's a scene from Guyver. There's a bear attacking, or better yet, there is a quote-unquote Zoinoid that people think is a bear that is attacking. David Hayter, as the Guyver, goes,
What was that?
I don't know. I heard someone shouting.
No, it could be another bear attack.
You go and get help. I'll take care of the bear.
Right. He'll take care of the bear? Oh, shit!
and he puts that "take care of the bear" on the laser disc, and it's just so much 90s energy coming out of that collector's piece there.
Yeah.
But and I pass it back to you, Apache.
All right, my favorite moment was seeing all the Patreons and them all coming up and telling me how much they love the show and love listening, and it was just fucking great to see. Well, like there was so many like more people who are always in like every time we record. Than compared to like MGSCON 1. It was like twice as many or something, and it was just really cool. It was really cool getting to spend that time with you all.
There was a part of our panel when I was like, you know, how many of y'all listened to the show before? And like MGSCon 1, it was like, yay. But like in the second year, it was like,
So how many people here have like listened to the Kojima Frequency podcast before? Make some noise if you've heard the show before audibly. All right, who hasn't heard the show ever? Get the fuck out. No. Thank you so much for coming in, even not knowing who we are. We are the Kojima Frequency.
it was really cool to see the growth in the show just in 1 year and how many people were tuning in and that came to the panel. If you came to the panel, you were there for a magical moment in history that probably won't be
televised.
Lost media.
It's probably for the best.
That's lost media now. It didn't get captured very well, so we're gonna keep that there live, and we can talk about what we talked about on the panel. I mean, we're gonna get into that stuff later, pretty much. So
I would love to say what I said on that panel.
We can reiterate what we said on the panel for sure. You know, it was a really cool idea, and really cool like thoughts that came out of it for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to say that like thanks for coming out to the panel, everybody. Thanks for the the patrons that came to the table and checked out the trading cards that Nitroid was working on. But yeah, Nitroid, what was your favorite part of the con?
Pass. Sorry, no, I'm kidding. No, my dumbass made the mistake.
Save that attitude
working.
for the MGS3 Delta conversation. Please continue.
Yeah. No, I was, I let myself get a little too busy.
Yeah.
And hyper-focused on trying to...
Wow, so out of character.
Yeah, I know, right? And so I didn't get to see as much of the convention as I would have liked to, but I know this is probably sort of a lazy answer, but I just really liked seeing everybody again.
Yeah.
You know?
Like that alone, which is like reconnecting with everybody that we partied with, seeing like Zanzibar land and like, yeah, there's just all these people. It's like, I'm so glad to see you again, buddy. Come here, man. Give me a hug. Like
that was really it for me.
Yeah.
I have another favorite moment. This is part of the party moment, and that was watching Bad Humans, which happy to see him too.
Yeah,
and Nitroid argue about Zone of the Enders drunk in my hotel room couch. And he came into my zone. Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, he came into my Zone of the Enders 2 stream a few days ago and was like, "You see what I mean now? You see what I mean now, Days?"
Wait. Seriously, we did? I don't remember that at all.
So the point is, we don't remember half of MGSCon 2 because it happened so fucking fast.
It's like seriously a blur. It's like just the one day. Is everything crammed in there?
And we hung out at the pool the next day and it's like, all right, let's get out of here. We got to escape from Long Beach.
I do think seeing everyone makes it worth the 5,000 miles I travel each way to go. Like while I was there, even at like the most stressful moments, I was like, God damn, I'm going to come to California every year. As long as they keep doing it, I'll be here.
I mean, talk about stress. Like we had the crowd strike stuff going on. Like all the planes and hotels just weren't working suddenly on the day of the convention. I was like, what kind of GW shit is this to happen? Like this is so on brand for MGSCon. And then we got to use bananas instead of doing prop checked weapons and stuff because of fucking
reasons.
current events and stuff. It's like, man, but we rolled with it, and that's kind of the Metal Gear spirit, is just like, make it fucking work, and everybody had a great time. It was a good time.
I'm still in shock here that I argued with Bad Humans about Zone of the Enders. I have no memory whatsoever.
Oh
Dude,
my
y'all were
god, I
going
wish
at
I'd
it.
taken a video or something. And you were like,
I don't even remember him at the party.
you were defending the GBA game and shit, and like
serious?
Yeah. And then he was like, and then he came in. We debriefed about it in my Zone of the Enders 2 thread. And to be honest, I was a little more on your side at first, but now after playing Zone of the Enders 2, I'm a little in the middle.
I don't even know what did I say?
Oh, you were passionate. You were defending that game.
I was defending Fist of Mars. Really?
I can only say so much because I only remembered so much myself.
It's okay.
Yeah, you said that point today. It's like, as much as Silent Hill 2 remake is kind of changing shit up, and we've heard the stuff about Delta where it's like,
oh man,
pretty much sticking the same and not doing too much adventurous with it. Well, I'll say I kind of like the stuff that they're doing with it personally. Like, I like the couple of upgrades we got going on.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we got into Delta talk. Here we go. There's no turning back now, is it?
It's been too long. We have to do it.
It's been
1 week.
That song's in the Digimon movie.
So Mint, I don't know if you can tell, but we've got a lot of thoughts about this stuff.
Really? I'm a occasional listener, so I know exactly how you guys are, very much on here. So
thank you.
What's your take on it?
Oh my gosh, I'm actually so legitimately excited because I'm a newer Metal Gear fan. I only kind of got into it around the same time that Maddie, that's Raspberry, got into it. She and I started playing around the same exact time. And so it was only a couple years ago. And so for me, I'm this is an experience that I never thought that I would be able to play a new Metal Gear game, even though it's a remake. But I'm for me, I'm oh my gosh, this is kind of crazy because I am finally being able to experience something new within this franchise that I love. And ultimately, I'm not someone who believes that they need, again, they don't need to really make remakes or even continue the story. To me, I know some people are kind of oh, they should make a game about the boss, or they should make a game about the sorrow and whatever, or, to me, I'm just kind of that always muddies the timeline of the story and stuff. They always got to add certain things that I'm just oh, well, this won't be addressed later on because it kind of those games have already been created. So you're just going to insert stuff for the sake of the game that kind of muddies the timeline. But since this is just a remake, I'm I'm actually so optimistic about it because the team seems really passionate. And like you said, they seem to have studied what makes these games, what makes them good, what makes them and be willing to implement new quality of life things as well as different kind of, I don't know, gaming mechanics. So I'm super stoked, actually.
The guy that they've had talking primarily, who's sort of been, the face of this new team in a lot of ways, which I am so glad that he's sort of the one that's on the forefront right now. Noriaki Okamura he's part of the old guard. He's been at Konami for a very long time. He's actually the most, if you had to credit Zone of the Enders to anybody the most, it's actually more him than Kojima. So, I mean, he's been around for a really long time. He's been a producer on a number of games. I actually got to meet him and play beta Portable Ops with him several years back, and he's a really nice guy. This is the guy you want deciding. I know I've got my criticisms, and we'll see how things pan out. But of all the people they could have sort of made the figurehead representing the franchise, this is the guy that you want.
Fucking hell, mate. Was that in the 1900s?
Feels like it some days.
I do like the way was this a direct quote from him? The way that they referred or were hinting at MGS4 being in the Master Collection was ... Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Like, they know how much the ellipsis means to us.
Man, yeah.
Just real quick, just for context, Okamura was part of the police, not staff. So just to
Going way back.
yeah. Anyway, continue.
No comment on him, on any of that stuff on
whether,
Master Collection too. No. Hopefully it happens. That'd be great.
Can I say
Nope.
some things?
Probably not.
But I want to say some things.
All right, then go for it.
No, you're right.
See, there you
I'll
go.
be
Caught
good.
you.
I'll be good.
Oh my god, why is there a red
So, Mint, have you like played everything now? Like you because you're playing on Metal at the moment, right?
Yeah, I'm playing Unmetal. I haven't done Ghost Babel and Acid and Snake's Revenge.
Survive? Just curious.
Oh, Survive, yeah, that's on the list. I think my audience might shoot me if I do it, but
Here's the thing. Just go in and go, hey guys, it's a spinoff. It's not that serious. Like, I don't know, but that's my take.
Are you trying to put her in danger?
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't listen to me. I just finished it again. I was like, man, that was fun. Even my girlfriend was like, yeah, I get it.
But I'm on your side because I have, I've watched videos about it and stuff, and people being like, and to me, like, it's the concept seems fun. So I'm just like, this is a fun, objectively, it's a fun game. But, people take their video games very seriously. So
Mint's got my back, y'all. That's all I needed. I appreciate
Is Brandy
you. All right.
is Brandy listening? Can we have her put like Fingers tries to defend Survive on the bingo sheet?
And he wins. Yes. Well, and that's like, I literally, we talked about it over the weekend. It was like, I get the criticism. This isn't the best representation of Metal Gear. Like, you wouldn't show someone this first and be like, you want to see Metal Gear?
Here we go.
But at the end of the day, here we go. Let's talk about cell processing.
Yeah, those sold though.
It's just a fun video game. If you play other stuff, it's just a fine video game. But at the end of the day, it's fun. It's a little B movie with a shitty subplot that retcons itself. It's fine. I think you'll enjoy it if you've played other video games and aren't expecting it to be Metal Gear. So that's my recommendation. If you want to maybe do it off stream and see what's up.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I think like Nitroid has said before, the worst sin of it was the timing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And people's expectations. But do you have any other like big stuff planned like for the streams and stuff that you're going to be doing, or any other like Metal Gear related stuff lined up here? Or?
I'm just kind of going back through the games right now because it's been a while since I've played them, so just kind of ramping up for Delta essentially. Might have some stuff in the bag, but waiting on that a little bit. But yeah, sorry, not super exciting. I'm like so shy. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. I think like for me, I'm like listening to you guys, so it's like I'm listening to a regular podcast. So I'm just like,
we get that a lot. It's like people are like, yeah, listen to the show. It's like, yeah, I'm just here like listening to a show. It's like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm supposed to participate.
I'm like,
Shit. Yeah, that's what I think.
You're like
too.
talking to me. I'm like, huh? Jumping out of it.
Wait, that doesn't normally happen when I listen to the show. They don't normally speak to
exactly.
me.
This third wall.
They're breaking the fourth wall. What kind of Kojima shit?
And what do you think?
Username
Like, yeah.
500.
I'm sorry to like drop you in it, but before Mint goes to me, I'm kind of nervous, and I felt like saying you literally did a concert like 2 weeks ago. This can't be as scary as that.
I saw footage from that on Twitter. That was amazing. What was that like?
Oh my gosh. It's so crazy to me that I can even kind of do that kind of stuff. So I did a concert at a convention called Anime NYC, and I flew out to Japan and was like put in 3D, and I felt like, it's always funny because I feel like I'm in a video game because I do the whole like mocap suits and everything. So it's very fun. it's like a humbling experience because it's just like, wow, there's so many people that kind of come to me or us or whoever is like performing. So I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I will say, like from the footage, a lot of like anime conventions, you see footage of like the concerts, and people are just kind of like nodding their heads, not really moving. The footage of yours, people were going fucking wild.
Fucking arena with glow sticks and shit. It looked like
Yeah,
a blast.
I do a lot of, or like I'm into a lot of like idol stuff in Japan as well. So it's kind of what I try to emulate in my concerts. So it's like, you know, kind of just trying to bring that culture to what I do. Yeah.
I want to go to one.
Okay. I will single you out. I'll be like, okay, Apache, dance.
No, don't. I'm shy.
I'm sure.
At the next MGSCON, maybe we'll get you a performance slot or something. We'll see what we can do.
Oh gosh.
I've
I've done like a Metal Gear karaoke before, but I don't know. It's a lot of expectation.
We also humored a Mint Tom Olsen collaboration. We could get him back on.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got this friend named Tom. He's also interested in sort of becoming a VTuber, but doesn't really understand it.
Yeah, he's kind of like a boomer. I don't know. We gotta like set
bit.
up his OBS for him and stuff. But once we get him set up, I think he'll be good to go. You know,
Perfect. Okay, I got you. You
we
know.
can do like a collab or something. You know, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
if there's a lot of room for middle-aged guys in the VTuber scene, but
Oh, of course there is.
As
Yeah.
long as you have an immunity to dad jokes, you know, like you'll be good.
Bring on the dad jokes, you know.
Hell yeah.
We love it. I love it at least. I don't. Yeah.
I gotta say, when I opened your stream the other day and you were singing the ending theme from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yes.
Holy shit, what is that fucking song called? It's gone.
Can't say goodbye to yesterday.
Can't say goodbye to yesterday. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, she can sing. And I almost forgot for a moment that you're an evil viper.
What the hell? You're such a bully to me. I No, my audience really got a kick out of the Viper comment. They've started calling me a Viper now.
I saw them giving you like special code names, like Metal Gear code names that contain Viper. I really enjoyed reading those.
Yeah, it's been, I don't want to say that like, Metal Gear has kind of changed my, my what's the word? My job.
Life trajectory.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely shifted it because, after I started playing.
opens some strange doors, doesn't it?
It does.
It's true. I was like, I got so many people coming in being like, I found you through Metal Gear. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and just a lot of people who are like, this girl just kind of spiraled into this nutty Metal Gear brain rot like blob that I can't seem to escape from.
Accurate.
It's just a series.
It's like Hotel California. Once you're here, you're just stuck.
I know. It's so fun though.
And you do that for other people too. Like you'll be like so many people's gateway to it as well, and that's really fucking cool. It's really cool that such a old series like can still attract new people, and they love it. As much as people who've been into it, for the whole time. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that's like aged like wine. It's just it can apply at any kind of stage, any kind of life, I guess.
And there's like all these people that are like, oh, I don't want to go back and play the old retro versions of it, or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, there's at least this new version that you can go back and play, and it's like that'll at least get your foot in the door and like see, oh, okay, maybe that's worth it to go back and play the retro games. Like it's like sometimes it's just that barrier of entry to get into a series, like that first game. And if Delta is it for some of these people, it's like bring them in, like let them all come in. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I started with Rising.
Hey,
I think a lot of people
that's definitely
are having that experience.
Yeah,
not unprecedented.
Yeah, because I like a friend just kind of at a whim was just like, you should play Metal Gear. There's the Rising one. It's kind of detached from the story a little bit. Like it's just hack and slash. Just go for it. And I was like, okay.
Well, that's got to be tonal whiplash going to the other ones.
Oh my god, yeah. And I didn't know what to expect. Like I thought, Metal Gear would be like this, Call of Duty type of like, just run around with guns and sneaking.
No.
This actually reminds me of something that happened to me while I was playing Dawn Trail. and which I know that I haven't talked about Dawn Chill yet, and that's because there's just so much shit going on Metal Gear Space. I don't want to occupy any time with a game we don't even really talk about, and I know Dawn Trail's been a bit divisive, so
it's okay. We haven't even mentioned Resident Evil yet, so it's fair.
Resident Evil 2 is now available on GOG. Just all right, now we got it out of the way. Go ahead.
The reason I say all of this is because back to Rising, there's one of the boss themes on Dawn Trail is very like rock oriented. It's like it sounds like some when I first heard it is like some combination between like Doom and some shit I heard in Yakuza. So of course, they don't put the music on streaming services. I have to look it up on YouTube. That's generally how it goes with music releases with 14. And one of the comments was like, again, this music is like
metal shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All on Apple Music?
Not yet. They generally give it a while so folks will buy the album before they stream it. But
because I know a lot of 14 stuff is on Apple Music.
One of the comments was, "I can't believe Soken put in this Metal Gear music." And I'm like, what are you talking about? This sounds nothing like Twilight Sniping. Sounds nothing like Harry Gregson. Wait, they're talking about Rising.
And
that's when like my whole like shift, it was like a shift in paradigm in my mind about where the series stands, in the pop culture lexicon with that comment.
Yeah, it's defined primarily by Phantom Pain and Rising now.
Yep.
I can't let the episode go without acknowledging, like, holy shit, Tyson Yin and fucking Jason Charles Miller at MGSCon 2, like, fucking killed it with their vocal performances of the Rising music. Like, getting to back them and just do all that, like, holy shit. Like, when they said, like, when Jason was like, rules of, like, the whole room just, like, exploded. Such a fucking cool performance, man. I loved it, man. The music in Rising fucking rocks. Like, we even had like a custom version of it with like backing vocals and the guitar solo in it where Tyson was singing on it. It was such a cool thing to pull off, man. Fucking Rising. Yeah, that's a good one to get into the series with. Like, you're starting right there, like, okay, now
I guess.
No, I'm saying, like, you literally have like, okay, like, from here, where can we go? And it's just like, oh, okay, just it gets more serious. And like, all right, I'm curious, what's the next game you played after Rising though? Like, what was your play order, I guess? What's the Mint play order?
From Rising, I went straight into MGS, like Metal Gear Solid, the first one.
Okay,
I was like,
good.
okay, I'm gonna I played it in proper like 1, 2, 3, and then I was like, I played it in release order.
Nice.
And then I finished it off with like Metal Gear 1 and 2.
Okay.
So
I like it.
it was a little unconventional, maybe.
I deeply respect that you went back and played them.
MG 1 and 2 is like, it's such like a good context after you know that about the people, it's like, because like, yeah, going through it, you're just like, okay, there's this guy and this guy, but you're like, oh, all this bad shit happened to these people, and then you just see their interactions like in the early days. That's a cool play order. I like it.
Do you feel like you have a connection with Solid Snake, having to transition between 2D and 3D? Do you feel like you have a connection there because of that?
I don't know if it's like, that what made the connection, or just, I don't know. I think it's, well, like, Metal Gear 1 was just like pretty bare bones. Metal Gear 2 was where like all the substance was at in terms of story.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So, but it was fascinating to see like this, young, fresh-faced guy. And then, in Metal Gear Solid, he's like hardened from the battlefield. He just had to kill his friend, he's just like I do feel that. And so I'm just like, I have a lot of feelings for Solid Snake because he's just such a well-written character. He's just like, so, he's such a good guy. He's like,
Same.
he always, has the best in terms of like what he wants for people. And like, so I just, I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's because of like the shift, from 2D to 3D, but like seeing him, like I said, as a little young newbie and then coming in and he's like this, sad old man.
You made my silly question so humble. I love you, babe.
Yeah.
In MGS1, he's like such a character that's already established where you're like, man, why is he so pissed off? And every time this Gray Fox guy gets mentioned, he freaks out. And this Gray Fox guy, every time Zanzibar Land gets mentioned, it's like, what the hell's going on here? Even like reading the briefing before, you're like, it just doesn't carry the weight. But like playing those old games, you're like, oh, I get it now. Like, that was his buddy. Fuck, I understand now. So yeah.
I relate to the old man part of it. So.
Of course.
Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna stop making.
We
those
get it.
jokes.
You're older than us, Nitro.
See, I like Solid Snake. He's no Iroquois Pliskin, but
Yeah,
he's a good
no.
character.
Oh no,
call, yeah.
Pliskin is
True.
like top of the cream of the crop.
He's
You
got
know?
his shit going on,
I want my $600 Pliskin action figure.
Yeah.
Hope they bring that guy back.
What's your absolute favorite game, Mint, and why is it MGS2?
Okay. Well, okay. It was 3 for a long time, and that's actually part of the why I bought the Apache slot, because I was like, 3 is my favorite, and I need to see all these cutscenes and like super HD everything. And then like 2, I think I quote like every day of my life, so I'm just like, I think 2 is actually my
I
favorite.
think we
don't know,
live
just-
it every day of our lives.
Yeah, exactly. So
2 is such a like grow on you game that like you play it and you're like, there was parts of that I didn't like, and then it kind of like sits in and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Couldn't disagree more.
Like, especially as you play more of the games, like you're like, 2 was saying some shit. Okay, like in the context of the whole series.
Yeah, that's the eat your vegetables of the series.
Yeah.
But also just the gameplay is so intricate. Like it is actually insane how much is like hidden within that game. Like it's just every little element is, you can get the guards like this, you can do this, like you can play the game like 5 times and miss something in
Bad
every
Humans
time.
just discovered something recently, which is, I don't know if he discovered it or not, but like, yeah, I'll credit him for it because I don't remember exactly, but you know how you can shoot the seagulls out of the sky, right?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
you can knock guards out with that.
it's insane.
That's some
Like-
system that they put in. They just been sitting there waiting for somebody like, I put that, like, you can do that, right?
love
They're
that.
sitting there like, nah. Like, yeah, man, these games have so much attention to detail, man. It's amazing.
The thing is, they must have programmed that interaction, and they've just sat on it the whole time, and no one's ever posted a fucking clip of it. They knew the whole time.
That's what I mean. It's like, yeah, it's been some fuck sitting there going,
It's beautiful.
yeah, somebody's just sitting there like, ain't nobody figured out the fucking seagull trick yet. This is bullshit. I want a seagull percent run. Like, take out all guards using seagulls.
Seagull percent.
Seagull percent.
Come on, Apache, you're on it. Take out as many as you can. I don't know how many birds there are, but
If I were like part of the team, I would be like sitting there like shaking, like how I have to keep this to myself, but like when are people gonna, like I wouldn't be able to contain it. Like how would I? Nobody's noticing
Gosh,
my
shoot the seagulls, shoot the
special little
fucking
thing.
seagulls.
Yeah, shoot the seagulls.
just do it just to see what happens.
When they were making that game, everybody on staff was given like a little notebook, and they were told, just if you've got random ideas, write it down in the notebook, and then we'll meet up occasionally and go like round table through our ideas and see what everybody likes, and if everybody likes it, we put it in. And that was how a lot of that stuff got in there.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, like, there is a bunch of there's. I mean, I've said this on the podcast like fucking nine
still
times
more,
or something now, but like, there's still more to be found. There's more to be found. This just proves it. How many times we had this conversation? But I do want to say, I've watched Bad Humans and Three Dog on their streams for hours, fucking around with seagulls. Like, we all play MGS2. They're playing like MGS9 or something. Like, they're just like wildlife surveyors or something.
They're definitely good follows for new information on the Metal Gear shit that's coming out. They're the guys that really know what's up.
I want to also call this out MGSCon too, and I god damn, I feel like I didn't want to call it a favorite moment because I just like the guy too much. But calling MGSV unseasoned chicken
in front of the man,
in front of Mr. Robert
Salad.
fucking
oh my god,
Robert, I love you,
like-
but you had it coming.
when the N and chicken left my lips, that's when I remembered Robert was in the crowd. So also,
The look on his
I wanna
face
say
was priceless.
Sorry, but also like it's been building up, man.
I'm just saying, like, y'all had that whole tier list like out for him and he filed a police report. So we got to deal with that here soon. And I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good tier list. I like how we
Love you, Robert.
basically positioned everything. Yeah, shout out Robert Peeler. I love that man.
Yeah, I love you, Robert.
We basically positioned everything either is it better than Survive or worse than Survive, and there was a lot of shit that fell beneath Survive. I'll say that. So just going back to that conversation, man. That's my whole like thing this entire episode is trying to get you to play Survive. I don't know if that's come across, but that's it's a
Hold
good.
on, I gotta bring it up.
I can't wait to watch you play Ghost Babel. Like, I actually can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, Ghost Babel highly recommend. Like, such a good game.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for that. The only one I'm not excited for is Acid because I hate card games and
Yes.
it's
Fuck Acid.
I think you're gonna. The first one's rough. Can I make a recommendation for if
Let
you
the
play Acid?
soundtrack carry you through Acid.
of course, yeah.
My recommendation is if you plan on playing both, if you're committed to this, because it is a continuing story between 1 and 2. Technically, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
The first game does a terrible job of explaining how it's played. The second game does a fantastic job of explaining how it's played. They really just like sanded the edges off and made it work well. But to get those concepts down, play the tutorial in the beginning of Acid 2 and then go back and play 1. You will understand it 100 times better.
Okay.
See, I never got that advice, and that would have helped because I played the tutorial to 1 and just fucked up and
No,
got
you're
like
gonna be
alerts every
confused
time,
for,
and I was
like,
like, "This
20
is the
hours.
worst turn-based." Like I've played games like this, and I'm good at them normally, and I'm like, "This is a bad version of this type of game."
Yeah.
I have like chain of memories trauma, you know.
And it's like it's random cards too, so it's like I don't like that aspect of it. It's like it's a different fucking hand every time you play it. It's like, well, I got a shit hand, so what do I do? And it's just I can't turn around on the next. Like I don't know, that game pissed me off. I'll say that much. But yeah, that makes sense though. Play this tutorial too to kind of get the
Noted.
because I was playing it wrong. That's probably what it was. I was playing it in a wrong style.
How dare you not play the first one or second one first? You
Exactly.
know,
It's intuitive as fuck, right? Yeah.
You ever play Slay the Spire? Because it's kind of like that plus XCOM.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I love XCOM type games. That's like I should like this game, but it's bad, so I don't. And that's where I'm at.
That's fair. I get it.
But I think I just don't understand the game, and that's why I'm calling it bad. Just like people call the Apache slot bad because they just couldn't play it. It's just a jealousy
You're
thing.
putting aside that every video game company in Japan makes those kind of Apache slots.
Yep. For sure.
Skill issue or something, you know.
Yeah.
Oh God, I pulled up the tier list that we made because I forgot what we did.
I pulled it up through Peeler's tweet that was like calling the cops.
I'm calling the police.
Yeah.
I would like to report a crime, is what he said. Yeah.
Hey, let's all right, for the people that weren't there, what were the S ranks? List them off real quick. Just go.
Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Ground Zeroes.
All right. A.
Ghost Babel, Metal Gear Online 2, Metal Gear Rising, Peace Walker, and The Phantom Pain.
I remember I wanted Peace Walker a little low because of the grind. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. B.
Metal Gear for the MSX, Metal Gear Acid 1 and 2, Metal Gear Online 1, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Portable Ops.
Portable Ops is way too low.
Eh.
Yeah, Acid needed to be a little bit lower. All right. C. Yeah. We had disagreements about this all along the way, I guess is the point, but we settled and we were like, all right.
I had to lobby to get 4 in the B. Y'all wanted to put it in A, and I wasn't having that.
Yeah, that was a good call, honestly.
Yeah, like we came to a conclusion here. The official TKF tier list. It's like this is where we landed.
Gotta negotiate. We can revisit this a year from now. And then C was Survive and the Twin Snakes. And you know, I feel like that's unfair to the Twin Snakes.
Man, you got to replay Survive, man. Like I got footage.
There is a lot. Look, Survive's fun, but
Clip it.
let's not pretend like it doesn't have a lot of problems.
I'm not saying that too. That's what I'm saying. Like it's
More
a C
than
game.
the Twin Snakes does, I would say.
I think Twin Snakes, y'all have complained about so much more, and it makes more valid sense, the complaints that you're making, whereas like Survive's like, I'm just trying to be a little tower defense game. You're like, you're being a fucking tower defense game. And it's like, that's what I tried to set out to be, y'all. Like, I don't know.
The single player was a slog.
It kind of was, but it was getting you ready for the extreme circumstances of the multiplayer. So
Yeah, all 4 missions.
that's why you have the events.
But those few are a lot of fun.
Yeah, the events was where it was really at, where they would rotate hey, here you got Rex, here you got
Yeah.
Shagohod coming in and doing all this shit. So it's like,
Should've focused on that instead of the story.
The story is not the thing that I champion, but it is cool that at the end of the game, it's revealed that,
Yeah,
so,
whatever.
that's cool. Yeah.
And then D was Metal Gear Arcade, Metal Gear Online 3, Metal Gear Solid Mobile, and Metal Gear Solid Touch.
Games suck. All right, go ahead. E?
That's it. That
yeah,
was D.
that's it. And it's like,
Mobile's better than Survive.
I don't know. Y'all rated Survive better than the Phantom Pain in certain points. So I don't know what's going on here. This Survive back and forth. It's Survive Whiplash over here.
Have you played Mobile Mint?
No, have not.
It's for a phone game. It's a good example of a phone game, and it also
It's impressive.
The story's decent as well.
How do you play that these days?
Emulator.
Yeah.
You can emulate it, and you can also just buy the phone and get it on the phone, and the phone can the type of phone I don't remember off the top of my head is like you can literally capture it. You can plug a capture card into the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's got that output. Okay. So, but yeah, emulating the actual phone, like as an emulator.
I am excited to like see how you get on with Ghost Babel, because I like pestered Maddie for ages. I was like, I can't wait to see you play Ghost Babel. Can't wait to see you play Ghost Babel. It's like one of my favorite games ever. And then she played it and she was like, it's all right.
Yeah, that hurts.
Man, if you really like Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake and like that improvement over Metal Gear 1 and
Yes.
like in the Metal Gear, like you'll love Ghost Babel, because it's like this in between of like, what if there's a game made in between MG2 Solid Snake and MGS1,
Or if MGS1 was a 2D game.
yeah, or if like, yeah, what if MGS1 didn't happen and they were still on the 2D shit? It's like that's what they would have made at the time, and it's just such like a really it blows all the Game Boy Color games out of the water. Like it is probably the
Yeah.
best.
With the exception of one mission that we won't spoil, but you'll find out.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sure.
you'll hear that music and you'll know.
And if you work really hard, you could possibly get the world record for the first level of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Many people have.
What?
Definitely good. So the stage 1 of Ghost Babel is 35 seconds, and it can't go lower. So the way the game tracks the time is like in to the second, like in-game timer. So like there's loads of people who have the record for stage 1 because it's impossible to be a second faster.
Oh my god.
How many people currently have the stage 1 record?
I'm not sure. There's loads that aren't even like on the board as well.
Yeah.
But it's like almost like a joke. It's like, oh, I'm a world record holder in Ghost Babel. Like and then everyone goes and gets the 35 seconds.
I gotta join the ranks, I guess.
100%.
Yeah. My claim
If
to
you play it a
fame.
couple of times, you might join the ranks accidentally.
With regards to Delta, though, I just want to say, like, we the gamers, we won. We got.
What's this Wii bullshit?
Who are you talking about?
Here's the problem.
Thank you, Konami, for paying attention to our MGSCON panel. Very clearly, you put together those features that we listed
That we all agreed on.
and put it in the game in like 3 weeks. Very fast turnaround. Appreciate you listening to it. There's going to be some dumbass in the comment like, dumb bitch, she thinks that game features are programmed in 2 weeks, not detecting the sarcasm.
No, they obviously listened to us. This person doesn't know what they're talking about, calling you dumb bitch. Like, they definitely listened to our input that we did on our panel and have done all of the things that we requested, except for like open map and a few things. Like
Everything important.
we got real time camo, like
Is
not
it-
going in the
okay.
menu.
Is it real time, or does I have not been able to find a clear answer on this. When you bring up the quick menu in Delta, does it pause the action or not?
I would think that it would not, because it being a quick menu, like normally.
Well,
I can
my brain
survive.
pictures like a GTA situation where like
Where
when you
maybe
go into the menu,
slows
it
it
goes,
down.
Maybe it slows it down, but I can't find any elaboration on
Yeah,
that.
I don't
whatsoever.
know. I don't know for a fact, but I wouldn't mind it if it's real time, and if it slows it down a little bit, then cool.
That would be better.
Give the cure menu a punishment, like in Survive. If you have to sit there and heal. By the way, I just beat Survive again. I'm still right about that. That's a fine game.
They can't do that because it would change the balance of the game, which they've said like clearly they're not going to do. And does a quick switch for camo change the balance? No, I don't think so. I think when you're new to the game, you're just going to put on the best camo and then take one step forward and then go, oh my god, my camo dropped, and change it again. So it's like speeding that up for people is a good thing.
Which a lot of people did.
We haven't seen like the full cure menu of like, does this take time? But all I'm talking about right now is the camo. We do have quick select camo, which at the end of the day is pick the highest number. Great. Thank you. That's all I need. Appreciate it. I'm going to walk 5 steps and now it'll change to a different number.
Welcome back, Octo Camo.
Yeah, exactly, Nitro.
Octo Camo was a good thing.
Octo Camo was making the best out of a bad design issue, but
Octo Camo was good in the context of MGS4.
Yeah, like the point I'm trying to make is like the balance of the game was like forcing you to go into a menu to change your camo constantly would cost you time, which affects your rank. Making that a quick switch menu so you can take this like, I guess, like casual approach to the game and do it faster. Do I think it's a good change? Yes, it is a good change, and it's good for the game. But you know, this is a problem that was solved in MGS4, and now we're remaking like these old games. It's like we're now solving problems for ourselves that we already solved, kind of thing.
And then there's an ever intricate camo index system. Obviously, different uniforms, face paints, help improve Snake's chances. But this is given a new dimension with improved visuals. Roll around in dirt and mud, and Snake will get convincingly covered in it, increasing his camouflage. I don't know to what extent they expect that to impact, but with that factored in, what do you think about
Extra smelly.
Is that a good change or a bad change?
I think that's a great change. What if the guards can smell you?
That would be so cool.
They could in 4, couldn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
4 and the Phantom Pain, you could hang out in the dumpster too long and just be out in the field, and they'd be like, ew, what's that smell over there? And you would just be hanging out, and they would come right to you from the smell.
Yeah, exactly.
I think making them a stinky, shitty, smelly, muddy boy is a good move.
Who is completely bruised thanks to the permanent laceration and injury system.
I do like that. I want to see how that plays out, because he's going to be so messed up by the end of the game.
Instead of that dude from IGN who made it an editorial about how it should have been open world. Good job, man. You really, really, honed it in.
Those pesky loading screens.
The dude from the French outlet who leaked it like a week in advance.
We had it on our panel, like one of the wishes, I guess, for this to be like a single segment, or no loading zones, like open world. It's like, and Okamura talked.
I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen.
And I think we all kind of were like, wouldn't it be neat, it'd be funny to have like one guard chasing through. But at the end of the day, Okamura was like, yeah, that would kind of change the whole game, wouldn't it?
I have 2 important points about that. For one, people thinking about the MGS3 map as like a bunch of connected areas that are separated by loading screens is not true. Think about when you finish the Ocelot unit and Eva drives through the fence and then the next area is a swamp. The loading zone implies a travel through an area. It's not one single map. It is in certain places, but the MGS3 world, if you were to make it open world, you would need to add many areas to it. You would need to make a completely new game, and it is like almost like a fallacy of people who play it who are like, oh, it should just be like open world and every area goes into the next. It's like, yeah, the map literally doesn't do that.
It's fundamentally different game.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work.
You could do it in some areas.
Yeah, for sure, like Groznygrad.
But you need like liminal spaces that connect it in between, because all of a sudden you're here and then you go to the next screen. It's like, oh, it's a whole different mood. It's a whole different lighting and color scheme. It's like, yeah, you need those in between spaces to connect the dots. Otherwise, it's like, oh, I'm here all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm with you.
After the Ocelot unit, right, Eva drives off and she breaks the fence open. And this is like an experiment for you all to do yourself. Eva breaks the fence with a motorbike and she drives off. Go into that load zone and look at the next area and tell me where she drove.
Through the water.
To my house.
She just held her breath.
I wish.
I am just worried we are hurtling towards another Twin Snakes situation.
Yes, I completely understand where people are coming from with that.
Yeah.
You can't give like the ability to like aim really well. You can't, like, a lot of the bosses is designed around the limitations of the game.
Yeah.
3 times they have re-released Metal Gear Solid 3 and made enhancements that screwed with the balance of the game.
crouch walking.
In all
sure.
fairness,
Three
the
ti-
crouch walking was balancing the fact that game was a PowerPoint presentation. But please continue. I agree.
I think crouch walking on the 3DS, okay, like it's already limited by being on the 3DS. So,
Yeah, that's what I meant by PowerPoint.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, somebody actually got that modded into the Master Collection version, if you can believe it. Like the crouch walking. It's crazy.
I didn't even know that stalking was a thing in the game. Like the first time I did an entire playthrough without using the D-pad, realizing like, oh, that's not just like a minimal use of the analog stick. It doesn't equate that. It's not like it's not just holding down an analog. It's a whole different button that does different like quietness to it. I was like, oh shit.
It's the only way to actually silence your footsteps. If you move the analog stick at all, the guards can hear it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought that like using the D-pad was just like, oh, it's the minimal analog stick amount. But second playthrough, I was like, oh shit, that's what that does. Fuck. Crouch walking at the end of the day, if that's replacing stalking, and it does kind of eliminate your footsteps a bit, if you maybe do it in a certain way, like because that's like in the Phantom Pain and Survive, if you're crouching and you hold just regular amount on the analog stick, you'll get detected.
Sure, yeah, it was a refinement.
If you get that halfway stick movement, then you're like, now you're stealth. Or if you're crawling, of course, like you're not making noise.
Sure. Look, I know I sound like a broken record here. It's you look at the original Snake Eater when you've still got the overhead camera in these larger environments, and they've tried to adjust to the fact that the environments are bigger by letting you sort of push the camera around with the right analog stick, but you're still sort of having to drop into first person view to see where stuff is and keep your situational awareness. So there's coupled with the fact that there's you're dropping in and out of menus constantly to use the cure and your equipment and camo and all that. There's a lot of start and stop in the original release.
Yep, that's what I hate about it.
So Subsistence comes along and gives you that great 3D camera, right? But at the same time, now you've got full sort of control over where you're looking in these environments that were optimized for an above, for an overhead camera.
Yep.
So now you're seeing things in advance of where you're supposed to, and it sort of unbalances it and makes a lot of things easier. Okay, so that's the first time.
Yep. Even that first Subsistence run where I was like, oh, okay, now I don't have to rely on these archaic radar equipments. It's like that made it really hard. It was like, oh, okay, I got to use one of these or the other. Like I don't have a full Soliton radar.
Yeah, you don't need it at that point.
So I get it. Then it strips some of the challenge from it. It's like, oh, you don't need ink ribbons anymore. You got infinite ink ribbons. I get it.
But there, it was like MGS3 sort of has some deeper problems. Like I know I've said this before of like, this is the point where Metal Gear sort of experienced its growing pains before it had to sort of modernize, because things weren't quite clicking, at least in terms of like what Kojima was trying to do with bigger environments, and so then you get to, the HD collection, which gives you widescreen, and that, while not as big of an issue, and is generally welcome, you're still seeing even more of the area, so your awareness is again increased. And then you get to the 3DS with the crouch walking and the over the shoulder, and it's like every time that they've done an enhanced version of these mechanics without updating the map or other peripheral mechanics to sort of adjust for it, it unbalances it further. And now we're going another step by putting in like pseudo MGS5 controls, and just that's sort of why I was like, maybe it would have been better if instead of doing this totally faithful remake, they would have experimented a bit more and changed it up a bit. Like, yeah, I know that's kind of blasphemy, in a lot of ways.
50% of y'all would have been pissed off if they would have done that. And that was the great thing about our panel, man, that really like highlighted. It's like, how many of y'all went this? And it's like half the crowd went for it, and half the crowd was like, I don't give a shit about that. It was like there was so many things that were important to some people, and other people could really just give a shit about like dual mode or whatever. But other people were like, dude, dual mode sounds like a good time. Like we're all here for so many different reasons that if we were to include all of it, I thought the best line in the panel was by you, Nitroid. He said, "Oh shit, we're out of money."
Yeah, kind of.
That's like the big problem here. It's like, yeah, we can include everything like Snake versus Monkey and all this, but like, do you want it out this year or do you want it out in 2030? Like, we gotta do work for all of this shit. It costs money.
I want something interesting and good, you know? And if I gotta wait for that, that's fine. But Apache, what you said about the open world sort of approach to it, where they stitch the areas together and how that doesn't really make sense when you actually follow where the areas go, you're absolutely right. And there's sort of two sides to this that a lot of people don't understand. This whole idea of doing it in a more seamless, stitched together way. One is what you said, which is that it requires a lot more adjustment, you know, than people are generally aware of. But the flip side of that too is that I don't think a lot of people know that when Kojima was sort of first, you know, toying with these ideas and getting MGS3 off the ground, he wanted to go in an open world direction. You know, GTA 3 was on his mind constantly, and he was, you know, frequently implying that like that was where he was going with it. And of course that didn't happen, but
he got depressed when GTA 3 came out. He's like, man, this is some bullshit. Like,
and he did it again with 5. He was like, I saw 5 and I was like, what am I going to do with my life?
You're going to keep making linear games because that's what you're good at. Stop going open world. Sorry. Okay.
I can't argue against that. No, it's that was dirty. That was straight to the point, and I can't say no to it.
You don't like walking 30 minutes in real time? What's wrong?
In real life, yeah.
I don't. God, no. The one thing I was going to say that's something new in the game that, like, I don't know if they did this by accident or not, but, like, it shows a clip where he has the Mosin Nagant before he has the Mosin Nagant, which means they might make a true New Game Plus where you have all the shit that you collect the first time through. That would be so fucking cool, but also they'd have to actually program the Mosin Nagant to do damage versus bosses, because if you, like, cheat into the game, it does nothing to bosses when you fire at them. Like, that could be interesting. That has a new element to New Game Plus that I've always wanted. Are they going to, you know, do new weapons? They've added the I like MGS4 options, the I like Peace Walker options. Like, what will that put into the game?
The little Gakko statues in ghillie suits.
Some people were saying, like, oh, they've replaced the Keratans. Like, no, they haven't. It's additional. Like,
No, the Keratans are still in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, as usual, there's a lot of fucking misconceptions. I mean, someone from the IGN review was like, oh, they've made it so you don't keep alerts anymore when you change area. Like, are you fucking stupid? Of course you do.
That's difficulty dependent. Apache, you said something before that I think you were spot on for, which is that I think people, you said that you think people believe this game is further along in development than it probably actually is, and I agree with you.
Oh yeah, we were talking the other day about how I think it was the IGN review as well, was like, well, I killed Ocelot and I didn't get the time paradox screen. It's like, they've obviously not put it in yet. They're not just going to take that out of the game.
Yeah.
There'd be no reason to. And the fact that it's not in there means that this game probably isn't as far along as people think it is. Like, some people think it's coming out this year. It's not.
We got our first look at it really like this year. You know, it's like that's I don't see it out by the end of this year. I've kind of been saying it's like this is a 2025 release. I think like whatever they're saying, like it just seems like it's going to be. I hope it's 2025.
I think, man, they're timing it for the PS5 Pro. I think that's the timing they're going to go for. Is
like, I hope they don't time it with shit. I hope they take their time and work on it until it's done and ready, and it comes out in 2025. Like, that's, I don't know. It's just.
There's someone who I'm not going to name them, but I really respect them on Twitter. I think they've like shared such like really detailed and interesting Metal Gear information, but they've repeatedly said it's going to come out this year, and it just isn't. It just isn't.
If it is, then man,
I think the pre-orders got people hopeful, you know, because they were like, here's the definitive edition and all that. So people were like, oh, it's obviously coming out this year then.
Which, if you haven't seen now, they have the Big Boss statue featuring the boss's tombstone, and it's like $600, but that could be yours. You can relive the trauma of Big Boss's.
I don't want to shit on stuff, but who is this for?
Did you order that, Mint? I bet Mint's ordered it, so don't even fucking start. Like, I guarantee you.
Never mind. I withdraw my comment.
I know you own some cool shit, Mint. Like you have the actual MGS3 pachinko machine, right?
Me? Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
That's so cool.
I wanted to take it to MGSCon if I could, but it actually got
but shipping, you know.
it got damaged when I first got it a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, so
no.
I'm worried about moving it again.
So I've been curious about someone that actually has the patchy slot machine. Like, you're having fun with it, right?
Because it is free. Yes, I have fun with it.
Yeah. So everybody else is just like mad they can't play it. Like that's I think like if everybody like had it in front of them, they'd be like, oh fuck yeah, I want to watch all these cutscenes and see all this shit.
Yeah,
And, like,
I mean that's exactly why I got it.
yeah, and like there's been like a couple uploads of like people sitting with the camera and there's like the like lens glare and stuff. But I think if we had like that footage like straight up, like people would be like,
Well-
hell yeah, this is dope. Like it's it's a cool thing here that's going on.
Well, I mean, people were always mad that they didn't implement these beautiful models and everything into its own game. They were like, oh, they just, you know.
But maybe they were just working on it the whole time in secret behind the scenes and just couldn't really show anything. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
You would need, if you wanted to get those cutscenes out, you would need somebody with a lot of technical experience. I've seen inside one of those things.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that. Like, how do you capture something like that?
You
Because it's
don't.
like an arcade board. Like, it doesn't have like an HDMI or anything. That's
Right.
I was gonna say,
Right.
is it like super proprietary?
I bet. Yeah.
It is. I've seen inside of one, and it's
Yeah.
nothing common.
I have tried to, find a way, but
I guess you would just really need like an ideal lighting situation and just a really good camera and just to get it like with as minimal glare as possible.
Push your flatbed scanner up against the front of it.
well, it's hard too because the you can't really tell from like the videos, but it's all one big screen. It's not like a divided screen. So like there's like a little black bar in the middle, but you can reach your hand behind it. So like it's actually just such a gorgeous machine. Like it's so beautiful. And I'm like, I know it's supposed to be shiny and fun and bright because it's supposed to be like, hey, don't you want to pop your money into this? But
Yeah.
like it's just actually so well crafted. It's so nice.
That's kind of been my position about it is like, I think we're all just jealous we don't have one or have access to one,
Yep.
and that's why we're just like, man, fuck that stupid. Like we're all saying, like, man, I wish I lived in Japan and could go down the street and pop a couple yen in and be playing it, but we're not, so we're just mad instead.
I would love to get a Metal Gear arcade machine.
I've never beat it though. The thing is, it's really hard actually.
Oh, yeah?
Because like I keep losing the fights
Losing the fights.
because it's all random. Like
Yeah, it's RNG stuff with it. Yeah,
I don't understand how it works.
Are you telling me that the gambling machine is unfair?
I know, right? Like you get 3 hits and then you're dead, but Ocelot's bar is like he has 1 bar, it's like a full health bar, and then it goes from green to yellow to red. So he has like 3 whole lifelines,
shit,
and you're
yeah.
just like
Greedy son of
3
a bitch.
shots and you're done. It's insane.
3 shots, enough to fucking make any gambling addict come back again and put another fucking yen in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah, it's like attracting you with these like beautiful visuals, and you're like, I want to see more. So it's like it's actually very predatory and sad when you think about it. But no, I would
You
love to
know.
play it. The duality of this situation.
If I can ever find a way to bring it MGSCon,
No, that would be the most popular thing at the convention if you brought it.
If I had it, I would speedrun it.
I played it for like, I don't know, it was like 4 hours or something on stream, and I still was seeing new stuff that I had never seen before. And I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so
Yeah.
much packed into it. Like just because it's all random and my luck is, questionable. So
Yeah, I bet it's got all those like alternate routes, like where like if you mess up this one scenario, it's like you get to see this scene instead, and it's just I bet it is packed with that.
yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like, which I'm saying this to plug the remaster that's coming out next in October, but it reminds me of like intentionally fucking up an Until Dawn
Yeah.
just to get those
Just to
extra
see it.
bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get the good ending first, but
Yeah.
once I clear that, I want to ruin these people's lives.
Exactly. Don't give me the option to ruin their lives if you don't want me to take it,
The natural play order of like playing something like Dragon's Lair, we're like, oh, fucked up. Like,
I was
oh,
thinking that
fucked
too,
up.
yeah.
Like, oh, that's the good ending. Okay, now I'm in the next. Oh, fucked up. And start over. Damn it.
The
Yeah.
thing about, too, the patchy slot is also I really dislike how they modeled Ocelot and Eva, especially Eva. She looks really
Oh,
strange to
God.
me.
Very uncanny valley.
Eva looks like a source model. for like a
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a different team doing the models. Yeah, it wasn't KCEJ or not K. It wasn't like the Kojima team, ex Kojima team doing it.
So I'm just curious how they'll look in Delta because we haven't seen Eva yet.
So, like, are his hands big the entire time? Like, are they that big the entire time? Like, Big Boss's hands? Because I remember seeing him in that one scene. I was like, God damn, you gotta get the proportions right.
Oh my fucking god, that's gotta be photoshopped.
Oh,
Look in
I'll
the
be
chat.
honest, I didn't notice.
Okay. That was like the one thing that, like, yeah, look at that.
That's gotta be
huge.
photoshopped.
No, it's not.
It's not.
But there's also, I don't know if people have heard it, there's an original song in the Apache slot. It is so good. It kind of like reminds me of like Calling to the Night a little bit.
Is it? It's a vocal track, or?
Yeah, it's a vocal track,
Yeah.
and it's so good. I'm like, I had to get the soundtrack just because of it. It's so great.
What's it called?
Which isn't that wild that it got a soundtrack release?
I know. Let me look it up. I can't quite remember it.
Hold on, I'm loading up my copy now to try and find it.
I didn't know
Yeah.
this existed. That's cool.
Yeah, it's great actually.
Yeah, no, that's a big ass
Where
hand.
is it?
I'm sitting here looking at that image right now. That is improportionate.
Some yaoi hands there. Oh my god.
One observation that I did want to get y'all folks' input on is I did see a lot of folks say, and it kind of harkens back to my joke about the MGS5 run in the middle of Groznygrad in the last episode. But yeah, some folks were saying that, this is a little less like MGSV and a little more like MGS4. Admittedly, myself, I did not get into the details behind those trending statements outside of just like control scheme. Someone might know a little more details as to why they said that. But I thought it was an interesting observation.
Apache, you might have some feelings about that.
You're gonna have to cut this out. But I was literally posting the picture of the Apache slot Big Boss on Twitter and about to tweet, does anyone imagine him stroking it with that giant hand? And I don't even know if I should tweet it, but I'm so sorry. I fucking totally zoned out. Because I was imagining
We were
it.
talking.
Hey, here's the real question, Apache. Do I leave that in the episode or no?
Yeah, no, fuck it. Yeah, maybe.
We were talking about the observation of folks saying, "Oh, feels a little more like MGS4 than MGSV."
I've been saying for so, let's go back to the start where I was like, the worst thing they could do is just do MGS3 with MGSV controls because it'll fuck the balance, which we're pretty sure it will.
Yeah.
And then the next worst thing was like people go in expecting MGSV and then it's not. It's Metal Gear Solid 3, and it's like you're going to have there is a whole portion of people who like the last thing they played was MGSV, and so in their heads that's what Metal Gear is, and when they play that and it's like it's like a bad estimation of it or whatever, it's like because it's not MGSV, it's it's a linear story game, but it kind of controls similar, but it's a bit slower because of this. You can't sprint.
It's gonna feel more rigid, yeah.
It's gonna feel. You're gonna see what's not there, and I mean, the IGN review was basically that. He was like, "I just wanted it to be open world," and he's like, you can ask the director questions. Oh, great. Why isn't it open world? It's like save it for your fucking journal, man.
I have a comparison for you that might help, and I don't know if any of you are going to get this because it may just be a bad comparison. You need to have a very specific frame of reference to get this, but it's the only thing I can think of.
Well,
who here played Nier Automata?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play the remake of Replicant afterwards?
I think I did, but I didn't for long.
And did you notice how the remake of Replicant sort of felt like trying to be as smooth as Automata, but not quite there? Because you could tell it was a different team trying to emulate it.
Can I make a better? I don't want to say better. That's a terrible thing to say.
No, if you've got one, go for it.
It'll be a better analogy for sure.
Oh, thank you. No, I mean, one that might be more approachable and
Sure.
have a higher scope, be more approachable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of those folks who played they started Yakuza at 0 and then the remakes of 1 and 2.
Oh man.
And then they jump into 3.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have any.
Yeah.
Which I know is another touchy topic for Apache, so I'm very sorry. Bringing your bully on the show and bringing up these touchy topics.
Breathing through his nose right now. very hard.
We see them talking about like it's not like L2 and R2 controls anymore. It's like it's weapon wheel type stuff. It's gonna be different. So it's like it's not the quote unquote stiff old Metal Gear controls that made it kind of difficult. Like they are modernizing the controls a little bit so they're a little more accessible.
It's not going to feel the same. Even the legacy controls, that's what I really want to feel is what that's like. The legacy controls, the old style, that's going to be really weird. This is not, as far as I can tell, a re-implementation of the logic for MGS3's controls. Like they're doing this from scratch and just sort of trying to copy the feel. That again, we won't know until we get our hands on it, but that's what it looks like, and it's going to feel very strange, I bet.
Yeah. But like CQC, for example, they said like you're going to be able to grab somebody, and then now you've got everything on a radio wheel of like you can choke out, you can do this. Like
the 3DS thing. Yeah, that was what they had on the 3DS.
I never played the 3DS version, so I didn't see any of those upgrades or implementations or whatever. But it's like that's kind of what I want versus like pressure sensitivity on a circle button by accidentally cutting some dude's throat when I meant to fucking knock him out instead. It's like I kind of like that and prefer it. Like I don't know if I'm call me crazy.
Yeah, no. Check the chat.
Okay, yeah. It's like that's what they did in Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain and Survive. It's like that's good shit right there. I like that. That's good UI, UX, whatever. In my opinion, I don't know.
I guess.
Versus just like pressure sensitivity, while at the time was like a cool system, we don't have that anymore. So what do? This is kind of like
you do have to adjust for that.
Yeah, it's like, all right, this Castlevania collection just came out, the new one that Konami just put out. That's all the DS games, and in those games, you would beat a boss, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, draw a goddamn spell on your screen with the stylus, and I was like, oh shit, okay, got to bust out the stylus and draw a pentagram real quick, and that's what defeated the boss. How are you going to do that on the PS5? Oh, we just put stylus controls on the controller now. I don't know. I can kind of appreciate the like, all right, well, now we're here. We don't maybe use like the touchpad on PS5 to do that stuff or something instead if you really want to. But like,
this is the trade-off for having, PlayStation's whole, our hardware is unique and we try weird ideas with every system we do. And like anytime you have a console that's got like, this is our new weird mechanic for our console that only our console has, then when you try to port those games, you're in a really weird position. Like, MGS1 changing the controller port. Now we sort of have to virtualize that in the Master Collection. And it's still a cool idea, but it doesn't have the same impact because it's not something you're physically doing. You know, you've sort of got to be aware of it before you do it. It's lost its meaning. It's like celebrating a tradition when you don't remember what the tradition was for.
Even the digital download, like back on like PS3 when you played MGS1, it was like, oh yeah, I just gotta hit the PlayStation button, hit switch controller, It's like it was a whole different experience than like actually unplugging your controller.
Or having Meryl's frequency in the screenshots rather than on the box, which again, sort of an analog for having it on the back of the CD case, but not the same thing.
Yeah, it's really hard to emulate a specific time with everything that was involved and account for everything, and that's what I'm saying. Like overall, the stuff that I'm seeing with Delta,
you can't. But that's what it is.
Yeah, Delta is just really like it's struggling to be modern and be this thing of the past. It's really hard to nail all those factors and make everybody happy. And I'm just saying, like
it's trying to make everyone happy.
It is,
and as for the context buttons on the grab, it's a good idea if you hold circle to grab and then it gives you context buttons, and if you do a direction and grab, it slams. If it's always grab and then you press a button to slam, it's a bad change. That's my theory on it.
I agree, and that's kind of like grab plus direction in any of the V games and stuff is like it's that slam. But if you do it without a direction, then it's a grab situation. You bring them in.
Despite all my bitching, like I'm genuinely excited for Delta. Like I really want to I'm really excited to play it. I want to see it. I want to play it. I want to get in there, experiment, mess with it, and treat it as a completely new game. Because for me, it will be like even going from like MGS3 to Subsistence feels like there's a lot changes for me personally. Like, I can't wait.
I would say overall, I'm still in the same place I am before the trailers, and that I'm interested in how this is all gonna unfold. Like, I'm interested in seeing how the speedrunners, dissect the game, like Apache just said. I'm interested in, how they, recreate scenes with this tech. How I'm adding a new notch to this shit. I'm legitimately interested in I got into Metal Gear through MGSV folks are going to respond to this gameplay. And one other thing that I'm interested in is, and I think, we touched on this a little briefly on Twitter, and I want to credit Bad Humans for this point and whatnot, is the organization and structure behind the development of Delta. Two things that one thing that was noted was that there is currently no creative director at the helm. It's almost like, oh my God, Wes is here. Hi, Wes. Sorry.
Hey, Wes.
Hey.
There's nobody kind of providing a direction. And in some ways, and I don't mean this in as a criticism, you kind of see that in the product of Delta in a sense that it's very color by numbers. Again, I mean that in the best way possible. Color by numbers remake. And this kind of segues into the point that I was going to bring up from Bad Humans that he mentioned in Nitroid on Twitter, which was that this actually, it's almost like a litmus test for the developers. It gives them a chance to understand sort of techniques, how to build sort of that framework for a Metal Gear game. It's almost like, God, he probably said it way more elegant than I did. So sorry, Bad Humans, for...
I've got it pulled up.
Thank you.
I love this tweet as well. It's such a great point. Like, Bad Humans coming in with a solid fucking grand slam point here.
Yeah.
Like, here's what really matters, guys, at the end of the day that you're kind of missing. Like, go ahead.
Here's what he said. Because I've been sort of espousing the opinion that I don't think remakes are necessary in general, and I still don't think that. But this is the best argument I've heard so far. And he said he does think it's necessary, just not for the fans. He said, I think it's necessary for the current Metal Gear team to find their footing, like an artist recreating a famous painting to discover and understand the intricacies of said painting.
Motherfuckers beating me at analogies.
Yeah, and that is an excellent point. I'll give him that one.
Like, you're sitting there, musician. All right, I don't know how to compose a song. What do? I look at some of these old video game compositions and go, all right, what were they doing here? It's like you study the form, you study the structure, and it's like, now we can make something great. Like, you use that template, and it's like, I think that's a really good exercise for the team there. And while at the end of the day, it might be a thing made by committee, and we might go, yeah, that was pretty paint by the numbers. That was the goal. It's like, remake it perfectly,
It does sound like they're open to bringing somebody in to fill that director's chair.
Yeah, but maybe they're kind of testing the waters to see who rises above, at this point and goes, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And it's like, they might be in that process and we don't know yet.
Probably.
But it's cool seeing the growth and them all talk about the staff being ready to take on these big new challenges. Like, I'm excited for the fucking future of the team, man. Like, it sounds like they're really like, no, let's do this shit. We don't have Kojima, but we've kind of studied the works. We get what makes this great. Now we can make something new and different. Like, I'm so excited for that next chapter because the last one we got was Survive, and that was just like a fun experiment in gameplay. It wasn't like, let's take Metal Gear to the next level. That was more just like a Red Dead Redemption, like, zombie mode. It's like, okay, this is fun bullshit. But I do want to see what the next team has to offer. Because, at the end of the day, it's Konami. They have the Metal Gear franchise in their control. So they're going to be the ones that do the next thing without trying to recreate something from the past. Like them saying, hey, here's something new. Take this and run with it. And that's what I'm excited to see next. Now that they've gone through this training of here's how you make a Metal Gear. Here's how we did it back in the day, pretty much, with these new systems attached to it. But so over the break, we had all this news come out, and we had a few games presentations from certain companies, and we got Silent Hill 2 news. I don't know if you want to talk about that. I don't give a shit. But.
The Silent Hill 2 news was like all the game companies being like, I know we've been talking shit, but it's actually really good, which I thought was quite a strange way to report on something.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Louis Anderson died in 2022. New Eddie from Silent Hill 2 remake, born 2024. Welcome back, Louis Anderson.
New Eddie? I kind of like the new Eddie more than the old Eddie.
I loved you in Coming to America and can't wait to see your performance in this remake.
Yeah, it does look like Louis Anderson. It's almost uncanny. It's a little weird.
That's the thing. Like looking outside as a non-Silent Hill fan or just someone that's kind of indifferent to it. It's like, yeah, I can definitely see how this is a different thing here than the.
Can't believe what they did to Benny, right?
Yeah, and that other girl in the dress, she looks different for sure. I'm saying, like, I can see you guys' gripes about it. It's like, oh, this is definitely like a departure from the original. The original is like very sacred and it's doing a specific thing. They were like, well, what if we did it different?
That's fine. Different's fine.
Yeah.
I'm open to trying because I mean this is like my part-time job, right? Is to just get myself exposed and familiar, and just out of sheer curiosity, I'm interested as well.
Yeah.
But one of a previous guest of ours, he said a very interesting observation, which I totally agreed with, especially after watching. Okay, the tweet doesn't exist, so maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't know if he wants to be attributed to these words anymore or not. But basically, he said that there's a lot to digest about Silent Hill 2 that I think might not have been completely processed. Wasn't sure if he was referring to that either by the people who were like praising the trailer or by Bloober themselves. And I thought that was an interesting observation, especially when I think about the gameplay footage against Pyramid Head, where Pyramid Head, the great knife kind of looks heavy, but he's also sort of like flailing it around. In addition to it, not one hit killing James when he actually gets the hit. But God, I feel like I'm gonna be like a Nitroid light by explaining this, but
Nitroid light. Ouch. Tell me how you really feel.
I like to make that comparison with redacted statements.
I follow you.
Because, you know, we kind of know what the Grave Knife represents, and to see it kind of put in this like third person action gameplay where, you know, it's at a specific speed to fit with the combat pacing instead of not being this hulking weapon that represents, you know, this manifestation of guilt and think something dragging James down. Like, I feel like that's a greater metaphor for some of our concerns.
Can I just check before we go any further? Mint, where you at on Silent Hill? Before we
holy
fucking
God,
the entire
Yes,
game.
yes, don't worry. I have, yes, I don't.
Oh, thank God. I literally, my heart fell to my chest.
No, you're all good.
Just assume everyone's played. Like,
Otherwise, I would have been like, la la la, I'm not listening. No, we're all good.
I'm more optimistic after seeing the trailer, but I do see some of the concerns with, you know, are they able to completely bite all that they need to chew to really show what makes this intrigue so great?
I kind of don't want to chime in because I've been getting yelled at a lot.
No, do it. You're gonna be my flame retardant. Do it.
I don't want to.
This is the spot to do it.
People are mean.
Yeah, but like you're like, hey, I'll probably go into this more on like Kojima Freak. Well, that was probably
I
about the
guess.
Delta shit that you were saying that. But I mean, go ahead for the Silent Hill stuff. It's like this is the spot you can be like, hey,
I
go to
want
fucking
to know.
20 minutes
you
in.
know, I want to hear what Mint thinks.
Oh,
That's more important.
oh,
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. You know,
I'm so sorry.
no, it's okay. I just woke up, so I'm like, my brain is processing everything. You know, because it's like, I don't know. Okay, I'll be honest. I listened to your guys' episode about Silent Hill 2, but it was like a while ago. I don't remember how you guys feel about Bloober Team in general.
You mean blooper, as we normally refer to them as? Yeah, it's like
It's not even to be mean. Like I just forget their name.
Wait, is it actually Blooper?
It's Bloober.
It's Bloober.
because it's like, yeah, you need another take at that.
Oh, okay.
I seriously, I just legit forget.
It's like how most people, I would say most people, but like, I don't know. I agree with like what Days said, how it's like, are they going to are they biting off more than they can chew? Are they going to be able to kind of like handle these subjects in like a good way? Like a not respectable way, but you know, like it's just kind of, in the past, they're just like, oh yeah, well, you know, you killed your wife. Isn't that like the horror of it? Aren't you like so devastated now? You were the bad guy the whole time. And it's just the way they've always handled it is just kind of, I don't know. So but it's not an original work. It's like a retelling, or it's like them redoing the story, I guess. So I don't know. I have hopes. I'm usually like an optimistic thinker when it comes to these kinds of things, because I don't want to think that people are going to mess up games that I like. I don't know.
That's the point, like, where I come in. It's like, haven't played the original. It's like, okay, the original's there. It's this masterpiece. It's this thing. If someone wants to come in and do a new take on it,
Yeah.
whether it just be a new coat of paint or like a different direction, and to try to like make it lean a different direction, as a person that like remixes and covers shit and goes, what if this had a 4 on the floor kick on it instead of it being this sad song? It's like, hey, fuck it, let's take it there and see where it goes. Even if it sucks, just to experiment and go that route, it's like I can be like, hey, you at least tried, So,
Right.
but I can also just respect the complete other side of the coin of like, you didn't really realize what made this good in the first place. You're kind of just like, yeah, there's a guy with a fucking triangle on his head and a big sword, right? And dun, 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 like, it's a scary fog. That doesn't really encapsulate what Silent Hill is.
Right. Because at that point, why don't you just make a new game? If you're gonna like, you just you're just kind of leeching off the source material at that point. You're just the IP.
And I do want to be clear. I am completely assuming positive intent with Bloober.
Sure.
I just with Silent Hill 2, the truth is, at least for me, the devil's in the details. There's just little nuances and things they added. Great knife weight being one of them, that, and one hit killing James in that first fight, that just they kind of stuck with me and made that why the game is so great for me. I would love to see them have their own implementation of those little devil in the details, but we'll see. I'm not trying to completely dismiss this.
There's like another layer of it too. It's like, is this just bad marketing? Like, where the trailer isn't really doing the end product justice? Like, and like, is the game like actually, in its own right, just like a lot better? And they're just like, the trailer's just kind of cringy, because there's definitely that going on with a lot of stuff. It's like, no, the trailer fucking made it look like it sucked, but the actual end product was pretty good if you just experience it as that. So I don't know if that's the case here, or if it just sucks. I don't know. I'll probably play it either way just to see what's going on and be able to talk about it later. But
in this particular moment, I would say the trailer was almost helpful, because I feel like it did get positive reception outside of Nitroid. It definitely led to more positivity, but it definitely dropped a bomb on the discourse as far as like a lot of like, oh, well, all those people who said it was shit, how do you feel now? And they're like, we still think it's shit. Fuck you, Becky. Like,
I can give you an example of sort of what Days is driving at here, and I think the redesign of Eddie is a good example that sort of demonstrates this. So there's a TV tropes term that I really like called Flanderization. You ever heard of this?
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, it basically means, a character over time is sort of morphed into accentuating the more noteworthy aspects of their character until those are exaggerated to the point that that's all the character is, right? So like it's named obviously after like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, who was just, early on kind of a normal dad who went to church and was friendly, and now that part of his personality is basically the dominant aspect of like, that's all he is as a character now, right? Like,
it's like a caricature of the
person.
It is,
it's a caricature.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I feel like that's a little bit of what's going on with Eddie here, at least from the design. Because Eddie originally, like, he's not obese, he's not grotesque, he's just a guy that's out of shape. He's the whole point of Eddie as a character is that he's just supposed to be kind of pathetic. Like, he doesn't really have a whole lot of self-respect. He doesn't feel like he has a lot of control in his life. And then, when he gets a gun and he shoots the dog, he starts to feel like, oh, this is my proxy for power in life, right? It was never about like, the physical aspect of like, yeah, he's a little slovenly is sort of just like one little aspect of this larger, idea behind the character. Ito was saying recently, actually in response to people talking about the new character, Eddie was sort of based around, Gomer Pyle from Full Metal Jacket. And there's a similar idea behind that character as well, they aren't just like visually similar, they're sort of thematically similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the idea. So when Bloober Team comes out with Neo Eddie here, who is just, again,
grotesque.
Exactly.
They turned it to 11.
Yeah, Louis Anderson. They've latched onto the most superficial aspect of what his character was and have like made that the dominant feature that you see first and foremost.
Yeah.
And that, in and of itself, like maybe it'll be good. Like, look, to be clear, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play through it, give it a fair shot. Same with MGS Delta. Like, I'm gonna go through this. But when I look at these little pieces and how they're sort of not blending together very well, like the Silent Hill 2 is such a weird case because it's so easy to overanalyze games. It really is. But Silent Hill 2 is this weird example that's like the exception to a lot of these rules, where the intent really is there. It's very holistic. Every little detail has sort of a relationship to other details. And if you start changing the characteristics of the game in these details, it starts to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely saturated with intent, and it's not just reading into it. It's very well documented. You can look into the making of this game, and they are, the developers talk about their inspirations constantly. It's why it was so funny to me when Ito was like, "Oh yeah, we based them on Gomer Pyle," which you do not get at all from the new version of Eddie. So, I found that kind of funny because there were all these arguments around the Angela and Mary debate originally, where it was like, oh, they're just basing it off of the concept art. Well, or the original concepts. Like, no, they're not. But we'll see.
To go back to something you said earlier, I've been thinking a lot, and I'm going to play Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta as well when it comes out.
Really?
It's very brave of you.
That's good self-reflection.
So, Mint, where can people find you where you're doing all your new stuff and your upcoming streams and stuff? You can go ahead and like plug everywhere people can find you if you'd like.
Yeah. If you're into VTubers or anything like that, I'm a VTuber. I stream on YouTube. Just search Mint Fantome or Made Mint, and you can find me probably. And I play a variety of stuff, but ultimately Metal Gear brain rotted, so a lot of fun stuff with that too.
One of us. One of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of us.
Welcome to the cult.
I was gonna say, welcome to the Metal Gear community. It's awesome to have you.
Yeah,
you're
thanks.
killing it.
Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. And like I said, sorry I don't talk much. I'm just like soaking it up. I'm like, yeah, this is just me listening to you guys banter and do your thing. So yeah.
It's so awesome meeting you in person and having the dinner and stuff, and just thanks for coming on the show. It's been a lot of fun, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
I thought you were into the series for years because the way you spoke about it, I just always assumed that you'd been into it from the start. So it was really surprising a few weeks ago when I was like, oh, she hasn't.
No.
I think it was when I was listening to.
Yeah, like I said, me and Maddie got it at like the same time. So like she and I are like kindred spirits.
Yeah, wild. Literally no one, unless they know, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, it's funny how like you can get into Metal Gear and how quickly you can be like, okay, I'm done, got it absorbed. I think I got my girlfriend into it like at the beginning of the year. I was like, hey, we got MGSCON coming up. I kind of want to get you like familiar with this. Like we've finished the entire canon story and survived. We have like Rising to do. It's funny, yeah, I'm saving Rising for last. It's just it's funny how we all experience this in different orders and stuff.
I've assimilated.
Yeah, but welcome to the fandom. It's awesome when we have new people show up and just come in here and kill it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, hope to get more people in too.
You'll not regret it. So
yeah,
you will.
Or you will. And I was gonna say,
or it'll take over your life and you'll spend years of your life dedicated to a convention. Yeah,
I'm here somehow. I don't know what.
You will get into it, or else.
Or else.
Keep bullying on Apache. I love it. I love watching it. I love hearing it.
I know next to nothing about VTubing, and I'm using this as an excuse to start catching up. And if you're going to be making fun of Apache, I'm definitely in.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, more Apache bullying content coming here,
Nitroid, you got to get that guy Tom in with Mint. I think that would be a good collab.
Oh, Jesus.
For sure.
I think at some point we'll have to explain who Tom is.
Oh my god. Yeah, I realized kind of late that, wait a minute, Mint might not have any idea what the hell
It's
we're
okay,
talking about.
Tom is Tom. He'll be all right. He'll work with anybody. You know Tom.
I think,
This will all make sense later.
I feel like I know, but I don't know.
You'll know soon.
Okay.
You'll know soon.